need to disable the firewall and telnet to the remote IP address. And I'm in.
Yeah, sure you are. I'm sure that furious typing really did something there. By the way, did I mention this is running on a Mac? Again, yeah, right, as if. I'm sure you've seen a movie or a TV scene like this before. You know, the ones with lots of beeping sounds, unnecessary typing, and misplaced technical jargon. In fact, you can probably quote one.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
However, did you know there's actually a name for this trope? The wiki website TV Tropes names this trope the viewer-friendly interface. Computers, and electronic devices in general, are usually designed to be used up close by one person. But in a movie or a TV show, the entire audience has to get a good look. So Hollywood often does some movie magic to make those screens oh so visually appealing. The viewer-friendly interface has many characteristics, but here are some of the main ones. First, font sizes are huge when doing everyday tasks like sending email, word processing, etc. Unless you're writing code or doing other nerd stuff. Then all your text is tiny and complicated looking. Oh, and if you're entering a password, forget about asterisks. Everyone needs to see that. And if a progress bar shows up, it is going to tell you precisely what the computer is doing. Instead of just loading, it'll be something more like sending virus. Second, every program needs obnoxious sounds and animations to accompany everything. After all, film is an audiovisual medium. While we're at it, let's just have the machine announce everything it does in English. Audiences will just eat that up.
Shall we play a game?
Oh.
On the same token, audiences don't want to sit there waiting, so anything a computer does happens lightning fast, regardless of processing power. Unless we're building for suspense, that is. And let's not forget the related everybody owns a Mac trope. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do as a character, you use a Mac. Law student? You use a Mac. Magazine columnist? You use a Mac. Secret agent? You use a Mac. Evil programmer for a dinosaur theme park? Well, despite the park running on an incompatible supercomputer and being full of graphics workstations that such a place would never have, yes, you use a Mac. Finally, disregarding hard drives, flash drives, and CDs entirely, all critical data in movies is stored on floppy disk. In fact, a floppy disk is often the MacGuffin of the whole movie. Obsolete media somehow shows up for this purpose in modern movies and shows too, so go figure that one out. Speaking of obsolescence, why does this trope exist? Well, prior to about the early 90s, computers weren't really used by non-geeks, so lots of people really didn't understand how they worked.
How can it ask you that?
It'll ask you whatever it's programmed to ask you.
Much of the time, the easiest solution for filmmakers was simply to make computer displays either unreadable and complicated, or completely spelled out and explicit, therefore allowing explanatory dialogue to be as dumbed down as they wanted. But the question is, now that everyday people understand technology, does Hollywood still use this trope? Actually, yeah, they do. Perhaps the latest addition to this trope is pop-up texting, where text messages between characters pop up right in the middle of the frame. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this style, but there are ways to pull it off. I suppose none of these tropes are really harmful in any way, but in today's internet-obsessed world, they're not really necessary anymore. Hopefully, Hollywood can figure out how to distance itself from this trope in the coming years, but for now, shutting down.